cannot watch it, and I can't, and I just don't want to wait till tomorrow. I'm asking Harry basically to get me through the whole of this and tell me what happened. And you watched most of it, so it was fine.
I
That's
think I
basically
saw
what-
the important parts.
Yeah, I think it is.
Apparently, they will be posting the video
Yeah, they will.
maybe tomorrow,
Yeah,
but
they
like
said
there's
they would.
no like time scale on that, so could be
But-
any time.
This is a fun way to do it. I knew they were going to announce the full set. I was just sitting there, just like, cool. I did call this bit.
I was
I must say.
worried it would just be the fourth set and there would be nothing like relevant. It would just be the fourth set and then that was it. Like I was just sitting there like, please actually do something. And I didn't realize this, but obviously it was called like the lore stream or something. I thought that was like, oh, Lorcana lore stream. So I just Googled lore streams, try and find it. And it came up with like Star Wars lore stream, this lore stream, that lore stream. And I was like, fuck. And what a lore stream usually is them doing a stream explaining the lore of the card game or whatever. So I was worried that they'd be like, oh yeah, this is the storyline for a Lorcana, which to be fair, I'm interested in, but it would have just not been what we were expecting.
Also, to be fair, I like the speculation more than if they actually told us.
Yeah, and I've always liked that with like TV shows and stuff. And like when they release TV shows weekly, you can speculate each week what's going to happen next week, versus like Netflix where they dump the whole series out and you just watch the whole thing and you're like, huh, that was interesting.
Yeah, like that was good, but yeah, it was just good. Yeah, no, I get that completely. Actually, that's a good point. Wait, okay, sorry. On to Lorcana though, because I'm so interested. I'm so interested about everything. Are you joking? Okay, because I have heard of some of this stuff. I'm not going into this completely blind. But like, okay, number one, was there loads of boring talking and people just saying
my
how much
God,
they love Lorcana?
yes.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So I was just like, there were
much.
points where I was just reading the stream chat because I was like, whoa, this is actually kind of boring. And the stream chat was just like, why is there no background music? Why is it just these people talking? And yeah, there'll be like silences where they're like pausing and like looking at stuff or doing whatever, and it's just complete dead silence. And then there was one bit where they were like, hey, we're talking about like the new co-op thing that's coming out, spoilers. And then one of the other people was like, oh, the reason why I like Lorcana so much is because I can play with my friends. And I'm a girl, so me playing Lorcana is hard. So my boyfriend taught me how to play Lorcana. And so having a co-op thing to play Lorcana would make it really fun. This went on for like 10 minutes. And I was just sitting there like, I don't care. Just tell me what, like, about the new cards and that sort of stuff. I don't give a shit about you playing Lorcana and enjoying it.
But it's so good that they're playing it together as a girl. Because girls can't play card games. They need their boyfriends to tell them. That's how that works. They can't just get into it.
And like, to be fair, it was actually kind of decent content. Like, it was interesting, like, getting their opinion on it. But also, I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
so,
that's the problem.
You know,
like, literally, that is the problem.
There's people yelling over there, so I'm going to walk away from them.
Uh-oh. Are they yelling at you?
I don't know, they might be drunk. It's hard to tell.
Ooh, at this time of night?
I mean, I could go, on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday even.
Well,
I could go up and be like, hey, what do you think about the new Lorcana stuff?
I reckon they'll have an opinion as well, to be honest. Usually most people do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
You let the man on the ground.
Can you imagine they actually go like, yeah, I don't know, man, I feel it's alright.
But yeah, so are we looking at just the screenshots or...
Oh, sorry, yeah. So, okay, that's, I guess, the new... Oh, right, I see where people got the new cards from. Okay, well, I mean, it's 2 legendaries down, which is quite quick.
Yeah, sorry, my internet cut out for a second there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think these may or may not be in the new set. Okay. So this is the announcement for the new co-op, like game mode thing. Right. But I think that these cards are also in the next set. It's just they've been like released twice, if you know what I mean.
Yes. I think
but they're being released in the next set, but also they're guaranteed in like the thing. Mm-hmm. But then I also feel like that's kind of weird because it's like promo legendaries and they're easy to get. So I feel like it'd be better for them to do like the opposite.
Or maybe they're just legend. Do you know what I mean? Maybe they're just legendaries. Maybe they may not even be in the set. They might
no, these are in the co-op set.
But
these are confirmed to be in the co-op set.
But does that mean they're also in the set 4, or is the co-op set, it has all the set 4 stuff in it? Like, it's not like, is her stuff from set 4 as well? Or is
no, so the co-op set comes with a set amount of cards, and like it's a guarantee. It's almost like a structure deck.
Right.
That you like supplement your deck with, and also she has her own like special cards that are only like they're not real Lorcana cards. They're just her like like her like boss cards.
Okay. All right. All right.
They didn't give too much information about it. They just sort of said it's like a co-op PvE thing.
Cool.
Where you play with your friends. That's what co-op means.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And
Well, they don't have to be.
yeah,
Your
I know.
friends.
Glad I explained that.
No. It doesn't have to be your friends. You can just
But
be
yeah, they
people.
said so there's different difficulties.
Okay.
Going from easy, medium, hard, I think.
We would always.
And
do
then
hard,
one of the
right?
guys was like, "Oh well, I tried playing it, and it's more like hard to more hard." And I was just sort of like, "Aha, maybe you suck at the game."
Good stuff. To be fair, that's good stuff. No, that's good stuff. 10 out of 10. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Have you seen those two legendaries, by the way? What's his name? Yes, Nid
Wait,
or something.
wait. Is it on here? Oh, it's not on here. Oh, yes, Nid. Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Jens did.
Yeah,
So
amazing.
first of all, here's a fun little Easter egg. Read his name backwards.
Yen. Is that right?
Disney.
Disney. Oh my god.
Yeah, sorry, I forgot you have dyslexia. But,
Yeah, don't ask me to do that.
to be fair, they're 2 3-letter words. I thought you would have coped, but
Yes. It was so hard. It was 6 letters together and there was 3 and 3. You asked me. Oh.
yeah,
Put so much on the line.
but yeah, his name is Disney,
That's amazing. That is really cool.
and I'm pretty sure he is a Lorcana exclusive card. He might be from Fantasia. I don't think so. I'm very certain they said he's Lorcana exclusive.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was thinking, like, I don't remember him in whatever it's called. Fantasia.
Fantasia.
Yeah, I was like, I don't
Not
remember.
gonna lie, I don't think I've actually seen Fantasia.
Have you not?
But,
I've seen it quite a few times. I saw it in school.
wow,
Like,
nerd.
twice. What was it? That you never actually see the. I'm pretty sure you don't actually see the other guy ever. You only see the back of him because you only ever see Mickey and brooms. Lots.
Yeah,
and lots
I
of
mean,
brooms.
he could be that other guy then. I don't know. I don't really know too much about like
But-
Disney lore.
He, by the way, is insane.
Yeah,
Like
and
he makes brooms.
so the
kinda
broom
good.
deck, just with him and Mickey, are going to be really good.
Oh yeah, he's a sorcerer. That is.
Well, no, I mean, have you seen the other Mickey?
Which other Mickey?
The oh no, you just doxed everyone.
You know who that
It's
is.
probably like the next screenshot. Yeah, him.
What? When you Ooh, what?
Yeah, and he's a shift 3 onto a Mickey, so you can play Mickey, like the other one, the one that discounts all your brooms. Spam out your brooms, then shift this guy and just like snipe something with him to a. What the fuck have they called it? It says it on the app. Give me a second.
LCS.
No, it's called Lorcana Challenge.
Cool.
If you go to the Lorcana Challenge event,
Right.
every participant gets that Dragonfire,
Cool.
which is pretty cool.
Oh, I
And
see.
I think it looks pretty sick, not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's like a full art version of it. And then
So it goes 64.
top 64 get Let It Go.
That's cool.
Top 32 get Cinderella.
That's very cool.
Yeah. Top 16 get Rapunzel.
Oh.
And then top 8 gets a playmat of that Rapunzel,
Oh, okay, cool.
which I don't think there's in the chat.
Nice.
And then they said top 4 and above gets a special Mickey Mouse Brave Little Tailor, but they haven't finished they either haven't finished the art on it, or they said that they didn't want to show the art because it wouldn't look good on the stream.
Oh,
But apparently it's like 3D holographic and it looks really cool. They also said it's a gold rare, so I don't know if they're just chatting bullshit or not, because we know from Yu-Gi-Oh! That gold rares do not look good
They
most
don't
of the
look
time.
good at all. Well, unless it's made out of gold.
Sometimes they look good, sometimes they're just garbage.
Yeah, that doesn't sound great. But I mean, it sounds fine. It'll be cool. It'll be cool. It's fine.
So out of this whole announcement thing, this is one thing that I'm really excited for, because in Yu-Gi-Oh!, which is the card game that we primarily play, the prize
Ugh.
cards are just some random bullshit, like you can't use this in a duel. Like
Yeah.
it's just a
It's true.
thing. Whereas these you can actually play with them, and also they're not like exclusive to, because like when prize cards in Yu-Gi-Oh were only attainable by winning a YCS, then the prize cards are worth thousands of pounds because you had like look at Giant Hand. Giant had like
300 and something.
It wasn't. Well, it wasn't crazy good. Like it was what like it was the optimal like second or third choice to put in your deck. So if you wanted to play the best deck possible, you needed one. It wasn't essentially needed to play Yu-Gi-Oh, but it would increase your like win rate by 5% or whatever.
No, it would help.
So to play.
Well, if you remember like stuff like Minerva, which was actually useful.
Well, and that's what I was going to say.
Thousands.
Luckily, Light Spawns never became a good deck because it was impossible to get 3 Minerva or Minervas to play a deck. Yeah, and now it's just irrelevant. But if people could have got their hands on Minervas and played that at the time, they could have made that deck tier 0 easily. And then the only way of getting the main card is from winning an event. And then that card's going to be worth like £500 minimum.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they've done it this way. And instead of releasing like exclusive cards, they're just releasing like alternate arts for good cards. And that's what they said they were doing, is they were taking cards that have seen a lot of play or that got a lot of like attention, like Dragonfire. And they've done those ones because
that's fair enough.
They want the cards to be used. So Mickey Mouse Brave Little Tailor sort of, I've never seen that being played in any meta decks, but also he is kind of like the face of Lorcana, so
he kind of gets away.
I get why they're doing that.
I mean, to be fair, like the Cinderella is really
Cinderella.
Sick. The Cinderella
looks really good.
Obviously, Let It Go. I mean, people.
It's also a good card. It's been used in every Steel deck since she's come out, basically.
Yeah, she's
Let It Go, I think, is a little bit less used.
Yeah,
but still, Let It Go is quite a good card. It still gets used, like.
And then
Rapunzel has consistently been one of the best yellow cards. Even if it's not used in every single yellow deck, it's still, I would still say that yellow, like she's like top 5 yellow cards. Period.
The thing is, with this card, genuinely, if you are playing yellow and you're not playing Rapunzel, you're literally playing a less good yellow deck in almost every situation.
Or you're playing aggro.
Or you're playing aggro. I guess that is well, even in aggro, drawing 3 and healing, like even if it's healing 2 and she's only 4, so it's not exactly like, unless you're playing like really.
And she is always ink, but yeah, I always try and play like an optimal like aggro build, and so she never comes into my deck.
Actually, not.
Although with my Chernobog deck, I could try playing her in that because healing 3 on Chernobog's fucking crazy.
Yeah, I was thinking. Well, I mean, you did literally tell me you don't use your Simba, so I was like, oh yeah, and Simba. It's like, oh, maybe not.
I mean, Simba's a really good card. It's just like, by the time you get to 7 lore, you have other things to do.
To be fair,
like if he could shift 5 onto a smaller Simba, he'd be really good.
Would you ever do the Pride Land bullshit?
Where you reduce cards?
Yeah.
I mean, I could, but that just feels, I don't know, like the game. Like, I feel like the game state is quite fast, and that would have to be a very slow game state to be able to like actually do that.
I don't know, because you realise that Pride Land is 3 or is it 2? It's either 2 or it's 3. Sorry, it's 3, and you gain 1 lure every turn anyway. So in locations are in theory quite aggressive, because you're dropping down a 2-drop that, you know, will quest for about 2, and it's on 6 health. Some of them.
Wetlands is a 2-drop.
Oh, it's a 2-drop.
With 7
health. Yeah. Okay. So there you go.
Yeah.
And it does.
And I mean, if I play Simba on 1, play that on 2.
Well.
Turn 3, move Simba into Pride Lands. And then
Simba on 2. You definitely cannot play Simba on 1. Oh.
Simba's a 1-drop.
Yeah, he is. Is he?
Yeah, the steel one.
Has he got the same attributes?
What do you mean? He's a 1/2. It's the draw discard one.
But is he a king? Is he a prince? /king / all that. He's got the same attributes.
I'm pretty sure every single Simba's a prince.
Ooh, that's a good point. Oh.
Like I'm very certain that like most. Okay, let's have a look. Simba, yeah, prince. Oh, he's sometimes a king.
Okay, that's fine. The Pride Land.
Pride Lands is prince or king. Yeah. But like I feel like and there'll be some exceptions, but I feel like almost every single character, like if they're a princess in one variation, there'll be a princess in like all of their variations, apart from like one or two like Floodborns where they're like extremely different.
Yeah, this is true.
But they usually seem to keep like those what do you call them? Those like the classification.
I was
what they
calling them
call it.
attributes, but yeah, okay, I guess that's fair.
I'm on the app. It's like the app says they're called classifications.
Oh, are they?
So we'll say they're called
apologies. My bad. Sorry, Lacana. Sorry.
I mean, attribute I think is accurate, but yeah, classification is the exact wording that they use.
Cool. Well, that makes sense. Oh, so okay. Because yeah, like go on.
Yeah, I quite like the fact that they're giving actual decent rewards to players.
Mm-hmm.
I've already seen someone on the Disney Lorcana Facebook page saying, "Oh, what the fuck is this? How's a collector supposed to get all the cards? I'm shit at the actual game. I like getting the cards," and it's like, no one cares.
Yeah,
like literally, no one
I
cares.
agree. More than
Just
any-
go buy them.
Yeah. To be honest,
Like-
as well, like go and get good. Like I'm sorry, that's literally how a game works.
Yeah, and like they were basically saying like, "Oh, why can't they just like release these in packs as well?" And it's like, well, because then it won't feel special winning.
Yeah.
Like at least going to an event, coming top 64, you get a prize, and you're like, "Oh, this is really cool." One thing I don't know is if you come in the top 4, if you get the top 8, top 16, top whatever. They didn't say anything about that, so if you want the Cinderella card, you might just scoop if you want to get that one exactly.
I mean,
But
yeah, it's true actually. I mean, to be fair, maybe I hope it is like if you go 64, 32, then 6. To be fair,
they usually do give you like the same prizes that you would have got, like depending on.
yeah.
But yeah, it's,
and I think as well, no, I think it would be if you go up, you get them. Because otherwise, like, what else do you win if you win the next game? You don't win anything.
no. So I mean, like, if you come top 8, do you just get the playmat, or do you get the playmat
No.
and the top 16 and the top
Yeah,
32
you get all of
and the
them.
top 64?
Because they say it's top
But yeah,
64 players. That's who
Yeah,
get
they
it,
didn't
and then-
actually say that though, so it could just be that you get like your prize card. But yeah, you'd assume they do all of them.
Well, this is true. Well, they flipping should. Because then at least you're leaving with like 5 prize. Can you imagine leaving with like 4 prize cards? Just like sit.
However, as I said in our group chat, they have been making some bad decisions. So
you've made quite a lot.
I'm scared of giving them the benefit of the doubt.
I'm
Speaking of, do you want to go on to the next bit, which I think is the bad decision?
I don't have a picture for it, but I know exactly what you're talking about. Is it the by
Yeah,
any chance the 2-2? You have to play 2 games,
Yeah, they're taking away
makes-
best of 3,
which makes absolutely
and
0 sense.
they explained it in the stream. And when they're explaining it, I was like, "This doesn't really make much sense."
Basically,
But they did say they've done testing on it, and apparently it works.
oh good. Then I guess we believe them. That's how that works. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I'm flabbergasted by it. I have to admit. Also, what's crazy to me? No, I know why they said it. By the way, is to get rid of intentional draws. Apparently.
Well, they also said it's to stop going first being so advantageous, because going first has like a 5% higher win rate, and
It's kind of insane.
it's like that in every single card game. Going first is always better. So this way, each player goes first once, so it's technically fair. But then,
Then if you
yeah, I just think it's. Or every other card game, the reason they do best of 3 is because in those 3 games, that gives you a chance to have a bad hand.
yeah, and,
Like, and then the other 2 games, you can play well, and you can like make up for that one loss where you had a bad hand.
and like
Whereas in
anything
this-
can happen. Like that's what kills me.
Yeah.
It's like 2 games, I win one, you win one, then it's a game. Like right now, it's like, oh okay, well, if you get such an advantage from going first, then why going like, okay, well, you go first, I go first, and then when you win, what is it? If you both win, you get 1 point, and if you win 2-0, you get
Yeah.
3 points.
Yeah. So if you
So-
both win one, you essentially tie.
Yeah,
So they've actually made ties more common by doing it this way.
they've made them
And-
almost like regular. Like
Yeah.
I can literally count the games on my hand that I've won 2-0, not because like, oh I was bad, or like just because I had a bad hand, he had a good hand. Like, even when I was playing against anyone. Like,
so what they said on the stream, they said that they've been running tournaments with like some people who've signed NDAs and can't talk about it.
Cool.
And in one of those tournaments, the person that came first 2-0'd every single person, but in one round he actually lost 0-2, and he still came first even though he lost one of his rounds because he 2-0'd every single other player.
Okay.
And that's why they're saying like, this is what we want, because that shows that like, if you're a good enough player that you always win 2-0, then you'll come out on top regardless, even if you like have a really bad match and you lose 0-2.
Okay.
Because in every like, that's what has always frustrated me about like Yu-Gi-Oh. You go to an event and it's like 14 rounds, and you have to either go like XO, X1, or X2 out of 14 rounds, which means you have to win 12 rounds. Yeah, and it's just like, that's crazy. Like, odds are you'll draw a bad hand, so you have to play consistent decks, which means that you can't ever play anything. Like, the decks that you like to build, the decks I like to build, are really fun and interesting, but they're not as consistent as like the optimal decks, which means that you just end up losing in like really big events. And now with this, they're making it so if your deck's not consistent and you lose a single game, you're losing 2 points. So
exactly.
And I mean, it might be interesting. It might work out really well and actually do like surprise us and be like this really innovative, crazy system that like actually rewards skill and shows players who are really good. But then it also might not.
I think it's one of those things as well. Like, I cannot believe that they would think like, because going first, like the thing is as well, going first is not that big a deal. I know that obviously the way that they're talking about it, I do understand it has a 5% and whatever, but like at the end of the day, like that makes no sense to me, because the amount of games that I've won going second just because, again, it's just life happens. Like, I don't understand how you can be like, like going first is such a big advantage, let's get rid of a whole game. Although, to be fair, people were complaining that they couldn't play a game in a length of time, and I never had that problem, but then I play quick as fuck. And I guess you play aggro. So I guess me and you have never
but I mean, I still had games where we didn't get to go to game 3 because their time system sucks.
Yeah.
And also, because especially the game's quite new, I was playing against people and they were like, oh, not sure what to do, I'm thinking, I don't know what card to ink, I don't know what card to play. And I was like, yeah, take your time. And this is before I knew what the time rules were. Then they called time and they were like, okay, cool, if you don't win the game in 4 turns, then it's a draw. And I was like, well, we're both on 4 law, so that's not happening, is it? And yeah, that's the bit that I think, if they just fixed their time rules and just made it like whoever's higher on law wins that game, and then that's how the match works.
Yeah.
Like, it would make so much more sense. Otherwise, that's why people are forcing draws, because it's really easy to get a draw with their current system. And if they just changed it so it's harder to get a draw, they wouldn't need to put that in place.
Yeah, literally. I mean, that's actually a good point. Very much so. Yeah, that is a really good point. Like, it's a problem that they've done. It's actually a really good point. But
then, to be fair, their explanation is it's less about forcing draws and the time issue. That's just what the community's saying at the moment. The reason they're saying it, and I put a quote of this in the group chat. Let me see if I can scroll up and find it, because I quoted exactly near enough what they said.
Don't say anything else in the group chat. It's all private. Don't let anyone see it. Don't say anything.
I mean, yeah, we'll get cancelled immediately if they see what's in there. Rolling up.
Past the death baby.
At the end of Swiss, we don't want to know how many rounds you won. We want to know how good players are, is what they said. And it's just like, what the fuck does that mean?
What does that mean?
Literally. Like, because they were like, oh, we don't care if you went 8-0. We want to know who went 2-1, who went 2-0, who did, who won the most matches, who went undefeated the most without, like, because to be fair, in other TCGs, going 2-1 and going 2-0, there's no difference.
There's no difference.
So the person that comes first, they could have gone 2-1 in every single match, which means they're losing a third of their matches. And the person that came second could have gone 2-0 in all their matches, apart from the last match where they lost. And then technically they have a better win record. That's what they're trying to say, is what they're going for.
Okay.
But then, like, I understand their reasoning. I just don't think it's going to play out the way they want it to.
No, it's not going to work. I think it's going to be sick. Like, I just do think it's going to be silly. I think that especially the thing is, what I'm thinking as well is like this is all hunky dory until you get to top 16 or top 64. Then you're definitely playing 3 rounds, right?
Yeah, when it gets like knockout, you have to do best of 3. Otherwise,
Like
it just like you can't just be like, oh, we drew. Like we both got 1 point. It's like, okay, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, literally. Like they're like, oh yeah, we draw. Okay, you need to play the other person who also drew, and then we'll play that. Like, no, that's not.
Although, I think they did say this is only for Swiss.
Okay.
So when it gets to knockouts, it'll be best of 3.
Cool. So the way it should be.
But this is just how the Swiss is going to work.
Cool. Well.
But then once again, like having best of 3 format means that you can take a little bit of a consistency hit, so that you can expect to lose every 1 out of 3 games. But now you need to win every game.
Yeah, you just can't lose ever.
Yeah, and the problem, like you say, if you lose the first game in a round, then you think to yourself, all right, knuckle down. We're going first next game, so I can probably win that game. Game 3, I need to really fucking go for it.
Yeah.
I can still bring this back. Now you lose game 1, and you're like, well, fuck, I've lost 2 points.
Yeah, literally.
Like no matter what, you're down 2 points.
And basically,
and it's like you can crawl back 1 point. That's it.
Yeah, you're either fighting for 1 point or you're nicking 2 points from someone. Like, yeah. And also, right, okay, I'm gonna say this live, yeah. If I'm playing you, right, and let's say mine is worse than yours.
It's live on this recording.
It's live on this yeah. Live, it's gonna be, I mean, it's not live to be fair. I mean, it's live now, as I'm saying it. If I'm playing
it's
you.
It's live to what? Yeah.
If I'm playing you, and let's say we play just this once, and you are like X, I don't know, you've won 1, lost 1, you know, we're both of us are kind of similar-ish.
We're on the bubble. We're doing well. We're
doing okay. Let's say you beat me in game 1. At the end of the day, if you're going to do better than I am because I have like 1 more loss or something like that, then why would I not take the L? Rather than blocking you with 2 points.
If you concede,
otherwise,
I get 3 points, you get 0.
Exactly.
If you play through and win, I get 1 and you get 1. So it goes from a net 3 to a net 2.
Yeah.
So if you win the next game, as like a pair, and like you wouldn't go into a tournament as a pair, but like as like friends, we're losing a point between us.
Yeah, exactly.
So
that's what
if you pair up against someone that you'd like, you may as well just be like, yeah, fuck it, first game wins.
Yeah, literally.
Which then means whoever goes first has the advantage, and they've just like everything they've said has just completely gone out the window.
Yeah, that's what literally I was thinking about it, because I was sitting there like, at the end of the day, like, am I gonna sit there and L you of 1 point for my pride when it honestly wouldn't matter? Because you did the thing, you won the first game, like we played the game, we did do it, but then why would I rob you from, and especially because I will have the advantage because I'm going first.
And in terms of like sportsmanship as well, you lose the first game and it's like, okay, cool, I'm going to drag you back down and make you lose the 2 points you could have got. Yeah. Or it's like, yeah, I'm just going to concede and give you the points because I'm fighting for 1 point, you're fighting for 2 points, which means that if I want to be like the good guy, I should just give you the win.
Yeah, this is literally the thing. Is it's like it actually, like when I was looking at it, I was like, that would actually just incentivize cheating. Like what they've done is they've made it so much easier to cheat.
But also, like in other TCGs, if you lose the first game and then you sit there and you're like, I could win the next 2 games, or I could win the next game and then stall out and tie the 3rd game, and then we both tie, and then I drag them down. And like that's always been like the scummy tactic. But in Lorcana, that's just how the game works now. Yeah. Like if they beat you game 1 and then you beat them game 2, you essentially have just timed them out in game 3.
Yeah.
Like there's not. They've just made it so 2-1 is a tie, which I think is just really stupid.
It just seems unfair as well. Like I said, because I don't know. I think a lot of good players are going to miss out because of just random rubbish.
Yeah, and I mean that's exactly it. If every player is on equal level, then it will come down to card draw, and we're assuming that they all build the exact same deck because they're all equal deck builders, they're all equal skill, whatever. It just comes down to luck of the draw.
Meta sheet.
And then, when you get to tournament, it should go 2-1 to every single player, and then whoever is the slightly better player gets the 2-1 versus the other guy. But in this, it just means that if everyone is of equal skill, if everyone's like really good, they'll just get the same points every single game. And then if you pair up against someone that's shit, you go 2-0.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Like, this is the thing as well.
It just means that
the good
players
players
equal skill.
Yeah. Like, they know exactly. That's the thing. Like, the good players will play each other, draw. Then the other people but below them who are also good will also draw or, you know, do okay. So all these guys at the top are going to be drawing for ages, going down, and they're just going to batter some poor person, then go up again,
Actually,
then draw. And...
that might be why it's a good system. Now I'm thinking about it.
Why is that?
Because so you go into the tournament, there's 512 players. Spoiler, that's how many players there are. There's 512 players in the challenge. So everyone gets paired up randomly. So we'll assume that all the good players pair against shit players because chances are they probably are going to do that mainly. So all the good players go 2-0. They get 3 points. Then all the good players pair up against the other good players. They all go 1-1. They all get 1 point. They're down to 4 points now.
Right.
All the other players then either go 2-0 or 1-1, and then they get 3 points and 1 point, so they start catching up. Because when you fall below, you then have a better chance of 2-0ing someone because they're a worse player. So you can then start catching up, because when you're at the top, it's expected that you'll be like drawing against each other. So the better you play, the more likely you are to play someone on the same skill level as you. Therefore, the more likely you are to draw with them. And therefore, the more likely the players behind you will start catching up because they're playing worse players.
But also, this would again very much incentivize losing. Because if you lose, you're then against someone who is just been 2-0'd.
Yeah.
So you would in fact want it. So actually, in the same situation that I would play you, it would actually be way more beneficial for me to drop the game.
Because then next game you can 2-0 someone, and you get 3 points, and then you catch up to me because I only get 1 point. Yeah. And then you're only 1 point behind me.
Yeah, that's the thing. Interesting. There you go. So actually, and
as I say, it could work. I'm going to be hopeful. I'm going to hold my breath because chances are this could be some really interesting strategy that no other card game has thought of, or it's a strategy that every card game has thought of, tested, and it doesn't work.
Yeah,
so
kind of what I was going to say.
We'll see how it turns out.
Yeah, no, I think that's basically how I'm feeling with this. There is another aerial, by the way. I love how we did that. That didn't really have anything to do with Mulan either. I am actually very interested by how it's going to work as well. I'm going to say that, yeah, I think it will work for at least a little bit, or they'll pretend it works for a while. Because that's usually what card games seem to do, is they like to pretend something works for a bit. And then it kind of just ends up either working, or it just becomes the norm, or we quit. There's 3 options.
Yeah.
Like, it's
or the option is the card game loses support, no one goes to any of the events. But I think with Lorcana, it's so popular just out the gate that, because I was talking to Jack, the owner of our the local game store near me, and she was talking about gamersguild.org or .com. I don't know. Shameless plug. Go check out her website. It's sick. Anyway, link in the description. She was talking about how Star Wars Unlimited came out like a week or 2 weeks ago, and she was like, luckily, no one gives a shit about it, so she doesn't need to worry about stock or worry about like hosting tournaments, doing anything like that. But compared to like Lorcana, because Star Wars is a huge IP, and I mean Disney's obviously, I mean it's bigger than Star Wars because it encompasses Star Wars technically. But like, well, I mean, then Lorcana could be Star Wars, which I'm down for. I think that'd be really cool.
I'd love to see that.
But like,
the new
I don't see Lorcana losing the player base at any point.
The new ones are Encanto, which I do appreciate.
Yeah, I like Encanto. Yeah, I think Encanto's a really good movie.
Yeah, I appreciated Encanto.
I think I cried at Encanto when I watched it.
Did you?
Or I can't remember. Like, I didn't felt emotional. I'm sure I like fully cried. But also the funny thing is, I just saw loads of memes about Encanto, so I like watched it, and I was watching it at like 2 a.m. when my mum was sleeping like downstairs, so I had it like almost muted, and everyone was like sending memes about like all the songs, and I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I had it muted the whole time. So like, I didn't even know what the songs were. Because they're like, oh, the song's really catchy, I love the tune, and I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I had Callum singing many Encanto songs with me for many years. Yeah, actually many years, and then I just ended up watching it with.
It came out in like 2019, 2020 maybe, 2021. I don't know.
No, I think 2020.